So today I'm proud to show you guys the brand new addition to the NieR Automata Reshade. This is the Lite version that I'm gonna be showing you guys. So this is how the game looks vanilla, and this is how it looks like with the Lite version. As you can see, it doesn't drop as much as the original version 1.1, and although it does use a lot less settings, there's still gonna be a standard version. This is just a lighter version, which the normal version is gonna be built off of. So as you can see, we're getting 59, and now if I go to the 1.1 version, we're getting 36. So there's a lot of difference in between the 1.2 and 1.1. A lot of stuff due to how much contrast there was, how bright some place was, and how dark some other are. It's mostly due. That's mostly the biggest change there is, as well as colors. There's a lot more colors in this one, and as you can see, it's a lot more performance friendly. So this version is pretty much finished. I still haven't seen any area too bright or too dark with this version. Initially, there was the absolute beginning section where 2B gives a monologue where the game was way too fucking bright, but I did drop it down so it's not as bad. But yeah, so there's this version. Of course, there isn't any MXAO, there isn't any LTA aliasing, or, well, basically ambient occlusion. There isn't any RTGI, even though this one is not tweaked at all. Although, there's gonna be in the 1.2 version, of course, an RTGI version, but it needs some optimization, as you can see. It looks awesome, but I think I'm gonna drop maybe the resolution of the ambient occlusion or something like that to try and achieve maybe a bit higher frame rate, because this one isn't that really well optimized, let's just say that. So if I compare it to the original RTGI version, oops, oh, this is okay, I broke it. Well, I cannot compare it then. Fun. Oh well. I thought I had it. No. So this is the version 1.2 Lite versus the Super Lite, which is far from being finished. Alright, this one I've worked on it maybe for like 30 minutes, an hour at most. So this one is made for absolute potato. The only thing that is kind of finished is the frame rate. It loses about 2 to 3 frames. So as you can see, my GPU utilization, I'm getting 60, so let's just talk about the GPU utilization. It's getting 86%. If I remove it, it's getting 82. 80. So about 6% of the GPU. Around that. And as you can see, it still looks better with this version on, but I think there's still a lot of stuff in terms of the contrast. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that still needs to be improved on this super potato version. It's just basically ambient light with some color filtering. Basically, that's just how it is, and I think that was a pretty big difference. Of course, I could have always just take the light version and just remove the borders and the sharpness and call it a day, but I think it doesn't like look as cool. I don't know if that makes sense. And of course, removing some of the effects, it kind of just breaks it here, besides maybe the sharpening, but it still doesn't look as good in my opinion. But if I remove any other of the effects, it just kind of breaks the reshade going on, you know, besides, like I said, the sharpness. But yeah, so this is the 1.2 version. Like I said, it should be available at the time you're seeing the video, or maybe it's gonna be there a day after I post the video. I don't know. It should be. I just have to compress it and set it to Nexus, although there won't be any picture for now, except if I go ahead and like, you know, start making pictures right now and stuff, but I won't, because usually I remove the minimap and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna be showing you guys basically the areas, how they look like with this reshade. So we're first, I think I'm really close to the park, the amusement park, I think. I'm close to it. Yeah, I am. Okay. And at least like the interiors aren't too bright or too dark. They're even darker than the original game, and in my opinion they're just perfect right now. With this version, gonna have the exact same issues. If I come right here, this is vanilla, and this is the reshade, as you can see. So pretty big difference. Of course, I'm not using any kind of anti-aliasing. I'm gonna show you my settings. Let me just move the reshade so it's easier to see. I'm playing in borderless. Shouldn't really matter. I think that's one down from the original settings. VSync is on. I didn't put any anti-aliasing because anti-aliasing, even I think SMAA, which is the lowest one, still breaks RTGI, 16 times anisotropic filtering. The motion blur is set to off, shadows high, FX to high, ambient occlusion is set to on, the global illumination is set to low, although I think it might be set to ultra in the game settings, not the game settings, the far settings if I remember correctly. And I've got the fidelity cast sharpening effect, so the game is still getting sharpened, even though I add even more on top of it. What button is it to? I don't remember what button it is. Ah, that's it. Alright. As you can see, the lighting is set to ultra. This does give you a bit more performance, but it kind of destroys the game shadows a lot of the time. Not every shadows, but some of them just get totally obliterated by using this. So yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna show you. This is vanilla, and this is with the reshade. So this one doesn't have any ambient occlusion, doesn't have any MXAO, which also means that during the cutscenes, a lot of the time the game is still loading stuff, which means that the basically Reshade thinks that it's drawing stuff, because the game is still having stuff in the background. The video is kind of just being put on top of the game, so basically you're going to see shadow pass through the video. I showed that up in the RTGI version or the normal version. Both have these issues. This Lite version does not, because it doesn't use MXAO for performance sakes. You could always add it like later. I think it's already tweaked. Might be wrong on that. No, it's too high, but hey, maybe by just simply dropping the settings like you go. So if I go into MXAO and just simply reduce the ambient AO settings to a more reasonable settings, thing like that, you can see it adds pretty cool shadows while not being too high. Like I said, that does take performance away. So right now we're getting 54. If I remove it, we're getting 59, 60. As you can see, it's kind of intensive. And like I said, this one won't have any, not necessarily artifact, but you won't see these shadows being drawn while you're watching cinematics and stuff. I didn't check my minimap. I see I have a bunch of little points. I think this is where I need to go. Like I'm supposed to fight enemies, then I'm gonna be meeting the I don't remember his name. The little head and stuff, isn't it? That is normal. Like I said, this is just drawing some stuff. It's basically loading the next area. But if I pass here again, it's just gonna drop it again. That's normal. So while I was going to go to the next area, I just stamp all about this little cool area, and as you can see it looks really good. So let's just go ahead and show you guys the super light version. Still looks great. And this one is pretty much, like I said, it's 2 to 3 frames that you lose, which I think makes, you know, pretty big difference for 2 to 3 frames. Again, it's not finished. The version you're gonna get is gonna look better. And if I show you guys the RTGI version, this one looks, in my opinion, really fucking good. But like I said, performance isn't great on it right now. That's the only thing I wish to improve. And the hair are incredibly shimmery from 9S. Oh, even without it, it's really fucking shimmery. Oh, that's just the vanilla game then. With some anti-aliasing it wouldn't have this issue, though if you use MXAA, or is it MSA, yeah. It's going to, Reshade is not gonna work really well. Like our TGI is not really gonna work because it's gonna break your depth buffer. So instead of your depth buffer looking like this, which is what it's supposed to be looking like, it's probably just gonna be either this side is gonna be totally black, this side is gonna be, the colors are not gonna be correct and stuff. It's not gonna work really well. Yeah. So now I'm gonna go back to the light version and I'm gonna go to the next area. Alright, so now we're approaching the desert.
The Council of Humanity has a message for all of our brave androids fighting on the surface.
This is the RTGI version. Well, it's gonna be, as you can see. This is the old 1.1 version. Well, not necessarily old, but previous version. This is with the guard rays, although I forgot to remove this second setting, as well as you. Well, even though these settings, these two, they both they were meant to go together, so I didn't put the effects too high so that I could just add both of these. But if I remove both of these, I think, yeah, it's a 3-4 frames per second. I'll have to do that on my side. But yeah, so then there is the super light version. As you can see, still looks really great in my opinion, but it needs some work in a lot of areas. This one isn't. This one is probably the best looking so far with this version actually. But yeah. So let me go back with the light version, and I don't think I have any other areas I can show you guys with this save. So well, basically the first chapter of the game. The only other thing I can do is to go with my glitch save and show you guys the other areas with A2, which is basically another part of the story, basically. Yeah. I don't think there's anybody that's going to attack me if I stay here. Okay. So this is the light version. This is vanilla, as you can see. This is the previous 1.1. This is the normal version though. Like I said, there's gonna be a normal version for the 1.2. It's just gonna be built off of the light version. Just basically the light version, but way more effects. Like there's gonna be clarity, there's gonna be more effects going on. Basically that's all it's gonna be. This is the super light version. Here it looks pretty good. I never got here with the super light version to check it out actually. Looks pretty great. And then the RTGI version, which is like always gonna be the best looking one, I guess. Yeah, it's always the best looking one. Although, like I said, performance here it's fine. 30 is in my opinion fine for this game. Although I would still want higher, but hey. it looks pretty damn good. Like I said, I would always personally pick the Lite version, just because the Lite version looks good enough in my opinion, and it's really more performance friendly. Oh, there we go. So now we're gonna go into another area. Let's go to the village. So oh, I didn't show the destroyed what's it called, factory. I didn't show you guys that. Well, this one is gonna have more fog, but I'm still going to go in straight to you. As you can see, there's also make the bloom a lot better. Now here we are. As you can see, this is vanilla and this is the Lite version. Now the RTGI version. Here the difference isn't the biggest, if we're being honest. This was the 1.1, which is basically the latest version you had available before this video normally. Like I said, if I'm probably gonna have the newer version already out, and it should be the first thing in the description if you want to grab it. And this is the potato version, which this one is probably gonna be the longest one to release. RTGI version just needs, well, the 1.2 RTGI version just needs a bit of optimization. The normal version I haven't created yet, but just basically the Lite version with a bunch of more settings, like MXL, like I said. Yeah, just more settings basically. I think there's supposed to be an elevator somewhere that you're supposed to use or something like that. Oh no, this is what I was looking for. Okay, so I can come here. I thought it was closed. Is there anything to get in here? That is overly bright though. Oh, even the... oh no, it's just light in here. Okay. Oh, for a split second I was just like, oh shit, there's something going on. No, there isn't. Is there anything to get in here? I think it was just for the boss fight. Yeah. Okay, so let's just go up here. Now let's see with the RTGI version. Ooh. Oh, that looks really fucking good actually. And the super light. It does look really fucking good. Like I said, this version, the contrast, the brightness and stuff, these are mostly subject to change. Although the saturation and how much colors pop probably won't. Although this version, compared to the vanilla game, looks a lot more purple. That's due to Lightroom. Maybe I'll change that. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys a last area. Oh, and there's an item. There we go. Alright. Alright, so now we've got some kind of oil thing to go and give to Pascal. Give a request. course I'm gonna listen to our problem. I'm a fucking toaster. Let's go. Alright. So yeah, I'm going to see you guys in another video. It should be either The Witcher 3 the next one, or Demon Souls. I still don't know which one of these two. But yeah, I'm gonna see you guys in another video. Later.